The following message contains a special offer for listeners of this station. Are you a man over 40? Are you constantly looking for the nearest bathroom? Do you wake up multiple times a night to use the bathroom? Right now, Perfect Prostate is sending out free bottles of their groundbreaking new formula to listeners of this station. Perfect Prostate Formula was developed by medical doctor Mitchell Fleischer, and its ingredients have been clinically studied to reduce your frequent nighttime bathroom visits and promote healthy urine flow. Right now, preferred customers get their first bottle of Perfect Prostate absolutely free. There's nothing to lose. Perfect Prostate is guaranteed to reduce that constant urge to use the bathroom, especially at night, and promote healthy urine flow. Don't wait. Call now for your free bottle. Just pay shipping and processing. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251. Supplies are limited. One free bottle per household. Call now. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps stand ready to defend the American way of life. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey folks, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, Dr. Richard Harden. We are on the same mission, which is waking up America. We just have different paths. So stay tuned for some information on how you can keep up with Richard and all his work.
Visit Richard's website at raharden.com. That's the World Wide Web at RAHARDIN.com. At his website, you can see a summary of the 6 books he has written, where purchases may be made. He also has a link to 18 videos on YouTube and several blogs about Christian beliefs. If you prefer, visit Amazon.com/Kindle and type in Richard Harden to see and purchase his books.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Having a place to go after school will make you a better student. Having an outlet to express yourself will make you a better artist. Having something to do together will make you a better family. At the Y, we're helping build better friends, listeners, writers, swimmers, scientists, and musicians, one chance at a time. Give the gift of opportunity. Support the Y at ymca.net. The Y, for a better us.
This is Rio of Madison Rising, and you're listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
The mainstream media is really the make-believe media. First, they make up the news, and then they make you believe it.
Hi, this is Susan Swift.
I'm highly successful, have been all my life. I have enjoyed successful careers in film, television, and law.
I'm Dan Wright, a father, a gun owner, a dog owner, and a Federalist.
I'm Susan Swift, and you are listening to Constitution and Culture on KLRN Radio,
where liberty and reason still reign.
Hey, we're back! I'm sorry we missed you last week. I'm Susan Swift. I'm an author, an actress and a lawyer. I'm a happily married mother of 7, and I'm the C word. That's right. I'm a conservative. I'm a proud Republican Texan who loves God, family, and country. And I was raising my beautiful family while you sorry feminists were trying to grab my taxes to pay for your abortions and sucking babies into a sink. That's right. I'm one conservative mother doing the job feminists just won't do. I'm short, I'm sweet, and I'm to the point. Kind of like a bayonet. And I'm a proud politic. And I'm joined by Dan Wright, our resident libertarian and all-around good guy who knows Twitter really well. Hi, Dan.
Hey, Susan. How are you? Finally got to meet you, sort of, at
so
CPAC.
Glad. We met at we actually met physically at CPAC. CPAC is the American Conservative Unions. It's their big, huge event of the year where all of the conservatives get together in Washington, D.C. and, chant and stomp and, rattle their sabers and touch noses, all that thing. That's what CPAC is.
And drink together.
And eat together. And this year it was so full of energy. It was so wonderful. I had never been to CPAC before. Yes, I busted my cherry at CPAC. That's true. I've never been there before. So I went, and that was really exciting, and I met a whole lot of really cool people, and I actually met Dan Wright in the flesh, so to speak.
Yes, and we did. And at first you didn't even know who I was. It was hilarious. We've been doing radio together since before the election. And I walked up and I said, Susan, and you were like, who are you? And I held up my little placard and I said, and you went, Dan! And we had a big hug and it was awesome.
You started talking to me and I said, hi, I'm so sorry. I forgot your name because I figured you knew who I was. And I thought, oh gosh, here's one of these people I've met and I just didn't catch their name. And you've got this nice little goatee thing going on here. And I just wasn't sure. And so you held up your CPAC sign. You all get these. It's a little bit like swag, but not quite. It's a lanyard with your card on it so that it has a little scan code so that you can get into different events if you want to. And he just held that up and it said Dan Wright. And so, yay! I gave him a big hug and said, I'm so glad to meet you. That was CPAC. You said, yay! I have another interview to do. You were all over the place at CPAC, and I loved it. You cracked me up. And that was something I'm so glad I get to share with everybody tonight because 2 weeks ago, last week we were at CPAC and we ran a kind of a repeat show. Sorry for that, but we were really busy. And the 2 weeks ago tonight, I wanted to be able to announce to everybody, but I couldn't quite because it wasn't all finalized. But I am now an author. That's right. I have written a children's book. The reason that I'm excited about it is because it's not your typical conservative tome. It's not 130 pages with bibliography and footnotes and talking on about, conservative ideals. And we're all in the echo chamber that is the conservative media world. I didn't write a book like that. I'm capable of doing that, but there are a lot of books out there already. And so I wrote a children's book. And it's called Good Guys with Guns at Home. It's the first one in the series that I've written, which is called Good Guys with Guns. The first one, Good Guys with Guns at Home, recognizes the everyday heroes who protect and serve where we live. That would be the police, the sheriff, SWAT, people who are serving in our communities. So that I think it's very, very important that we recognize these kind of people and teach children. That's the purpose of the book, is to introduce these everyday good guys and gals to children as young as, kindergarten and maybe even preschool, first grade, because unless we start paying attention to the baby snowflake generation, they are going to think that the best thing since sliced bread is one big federalized police state. And we won't have local police and sheriffs. I mean, that's what that's the goal of Black Lives Matter and the Soros gangs that go and print up signs and get people out in the street. What they're really angling for is centralized police state control, because they're alleging that, well, these local police are out of control, they're racist, and, hands up, don't shoot. They invent literally fake news to sway you with emotions so that you believe that all police are inherently racist and that police departments have, endemic problems, and that the only thing that we can do to save the law and order that's necessary to run our country is to centralize it in, ta-da, Washington, D.C. That's what they want. They want centralized government control. So that's what they're after. I disagree with that. And I can talk all day about it, but the most important thing is you gotta reach to little children. I can't put that all into a book. I certainly can't talk to a child about Black Lives Matter. I'll scare them to death. But what you can do, at least I thought you can, is I can present a book, a very sweet, happy, simple book with pictures that are whimsical and a little bit of a throwback feel that aren't those wacky Dr. Seuss drawings that kind of look a little bit weird, like with frizzle, frazzle, frizzle and lap snickadoodles and, weird words, but real, very simple words like, I am a police officer, I protect where you live, and this is my service pistol. Things like that to introduce children to what these good guys look like, their uniform, their badge, the canine unit, the weapons that they use, and that's the book that I wrote, Good Guys with Guns at Home. The second one in the series is almost ready to go, but it's not out there yet. It's called Good Guys with Guns Abroad, and it will be recognizing all of those who serve in the military and protect Americans all around the world. And then the third one is Good Guys with Guns in American History, and that'll go back to George Washington and other historic figures going forward who used guns to expand and protect our growing nation. So now you guys all know it's out there. Good Guys with Guns is out there. I'm an author. And, if you want to buy it, you can find it on Amazon. And you can also find it on my website, susanswift.net. susanswift.net, susanswift.net. And there's a little button there. Well, it's a big button, actually. And you can click on it and find out everything about the book. So there. Ta-da!
Well, there you go. I don't have any small children anymore, but
you can buy it for your dog.
Hey,
don't do this to me.
Hey, no.
Dogs and people too. Dogs and cats. Man.
Somebody that I care about right now does, so I will buy it, and I will tell you that I'm very happy that you wrote that, having been somebody that was involved with the whole Ferguson thing.
Were you?
I was involved with what were called the Snow Apes, which was an anonymous. It was an anonymous group that was on the police department side of things, on social media and everything else.
Sure, I understand. I don't know what you mean. What is a snow ape?
A snow ape. It was just.
Here.
It just ended up being the name of the group, but
are these like Democrats who wear white dresses in Congress and all they need is a hood? No,
like, these were the pro Leo side of the whole Ferguson thing, where you had Anonymous coming in with the Black Lives Matter. That's where it really started. You had Anonymous coming in with the Black Lives Matter, and D. Ray McKesson and Janetta LZ and all these people putting together all of this stuff to basically
Michael Brown.
Live tweet and live broadcast all of the protests and everything else. The Snow Apes were the other side. The Snow Apes were the pro-Leo, they were out there and they were live videotaping stuff too from the side of the pro-Leo movement.
You mean the law enforcement? You guys were the counter to the Black Lives Matter.
We were the counter to the Black Lives Matter.
Oh, good.
And
cool.
I was amazingly pre-blocked by all of those Black Lives Matter people.
Well, you know what? You and Twitter have a very interesting relationship. I can't. I don't even know. But anyway,
I don't have that account anymore.
Oh, that's good. Moving on, just as a reminder, 4 months ago, Hillary Clinton was beaten like a rented mule, and her memory is fading faster than Harry Reid's black eye. And liberalism is still screaming in its coffin. And another nail was soundly smashed down last night by President Donald J. Trump at his very first ever speech to the joint session of Congress, where he came out and like a lion just laid it all out in such a beautiful and actually, frankly, eloquent speech. He did such a really good job. I've called it a grand slam. It's funny, a lot of the mainstream media are, the way they're spinning it is, wow, he really, for the first time, sounded presidential. I think for the very first time ever, he became the president last night. It's like, no, excuse me, sweetheart. He was elected president back in November, and he took the oath of office on January 20th. He's been your president. I'm so glad that you're tuning in and finally listening, but he really did. He did a fabulous speech last night, and all of the Democrats are really upset because it didn't stay within the narrative, and so he blew up. His joint session speech absolutely blew up the Democrats' narrative about Trump, and I love it. I'm so happy.
That's it. He came out and said exactly what they want him to do. Basically, he basically came out and he said, I want us to talk. I want unity. I want us to talk about these things. I want unity. And you know what all of them said was, bah, you really want that? That's what they all said. You know what? You want him. You want him. You sit there and you say that you want him to put out the bridge. Then he puts out the bridge and you all crap on it. You know what?
Oh, well, that's a pretty picture, Dan. Thank you for that. That's just lovely.
but am I lying? Am I lying? I mean, well, he did. He put out the bridge. He sat there and said, I want unity. I want us all to talk. And then you go to a pic at the exact same time. You go to footage of Pelosi who's shaking her head no. And the left media looks at that and says, oh, look, yep, see, they're not going to give in to his demands. It wasn't a demand. It was a bridge. It was a let's talk about this. And they're all shaking their heads. They won't get up and applaud. They won't do anything. Whatever.
What he did last night, it was very, very presidential. He stood up, he set out an agenda, and he invited the petulant, spoiled brat Democrats to join him. He said, let's all grow up and let's work together for the American people. He really was quite eloquent. A couple of the lines that I really appreciated from his speech, one of them was about repeal and replace Obamacare with reforms. I think we have a soundbite from that, so let's listen to him as he explains why he wants to repeal and replace Obamacare.
Tonight I am also calling on this Congress to repeal and replace Obamacare with reforms that expand choice, increase access, lower costs, and at the same time provide better health care. Mandating every American to buy government-approved health insurance was never the right solution for our country. The way to make health insurance available to everyone is to lower the cost of health insurance, and that is what we are going to do.
I love how he laid that out, because he very sincerely and genuinely, but like a firm father, laid it out. He's not asking the Democrats if they want to go along with him. What he does is just like a very loving father. He said, here's how we're going to get to this goal. Here's the goal. The goal is repeal and replace Obamacare with reforms that expand choice. And here's how we're going to do it. The way you guys did it, mandating that Americans buy insurance, was never the right way. Here's how we are going to do it. We're going to lower the cost of health care through competition. And this is what we are going to do. It was a pronouncement and an invitation, and it doesn't allow the Democrats. It wasn't like your typical Republican whiny rhino reaching across the aisle, giving their best impression of Rodney King. Can't we all just get along? It wasn't like that. He was explaining in very clear terms that this is what we are going to do, what he's going to do. And the fabulous thing that I think Trump did throughout the speech is he started connecting through the television, over the heads of the media, over the heads of the Democrats and the rhino establishment Republicans. He was reaching to Americans, specifically those Americans who don't get anything from government. The ones who are just you and me, we're out there, we're paying for all of this, and we don't get all of the government benefits and goodies and all of the attention from the Democrats, and we're just the regular Americans who are footing the bill. That's who he was talking to throughout the whole night. And I think he connected, it was a smart thing for him to do, because those are the people that he needs to put pressure on the establishment. Because we're already hearing how, no, can't do it. Can't repeal Obamacare. Can't be done. Not going to happen because, it's just, it'll all fall apart. It'll never work. I mean, Boehner's already out there. Not Boehner, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. Bonehead Boehner. He's still out there. He's already saying, oh, no, it'll never happen, never happen. He's doing this naysayer thing. You'd think he was a Democrat. I recall, Dan, I'll bet you know how many times they did this, but the Republicans in the Congress sent a bill to repeal Obamacare numerous times, like more than 5 times, I'm really sure. I don't have the count in my head, but the Senate, we sent this to Obama several times to repeal Obamacare. That's what Americans voted for when they elected Donald Trump. They don't want a fix. They don't want it to be fiddled with around the edges. They don't want to, we'll kind of tune it. We'll keep some parts and we'll keep the other. We'll get rid of the other part. That's not what they voted for. They voted to repeal Obamacare. And that's what the rhinos had better do, because I tell you, there may just be radical upset if it doesn't happen in 2018 when we have to do the midterm elections. Everybody in Congress had better be able to sign on to the fact that, well, yes, I helped repeal Obamacare. If they don't do that, they are in big time trouble.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I'm in a situation right now where I do have my insurance has improved. I've moved to Aetna, who is still they fall under the regulations, but they've left the quagmire, and my insurance has improved. But I have an older son, and he literally, Obamacare is supposed to be this whole everybody has insurance. Guess what? My older son has no health insurance. And on top of having no health insurance, he's being penalized for that. So now he can't afford the health insurance. I can't afford to pay for his health insurance. And they are penalizing him. $2,500.
Obamacare was designed to implode, and it was designed to fail so that we get, again, this is like we just discussed about Black Lives Matter. What is their agenda? They want centralized control of a police state. What is the agenda of Obamacare? It was designed to implode so as to eventually crush private healthcare providers so that we end up with one centralized healthcare. Everything is going back to the mothership in Washington, D.C., so that our our rulers may then distribute how much health care they think we ought to have and how much money we ought to be able to spend. But this is all craziness, and this has to be repealed right now. We don't need to wait.
To put in perspective of what this bill, the ACA, what it did, I work in a profession that deals with hospitals. It hurt us because every single hospital we did business with, when this was passed, stopped spending money. Do you know why they stopped spending money? Because they were afraid they weren't going to get the money that they needed for the treatments, procedures, everything else they were doing.
Because they were, exactly.
They are disincentivized. So not only did it hurt me, for quite a couple years. Not only did it hurt me because my insurance turned sucky. I will use that word, sucky. My insurance turned sucky, and we lost work because hospitals said, we're not spending money because we can't, because we don't know what's going to happen.
Yep.
It really screwed up.
That's right. That's why we've got to repeal
everything.
And I don't want to hear. I like the idea of a healthcare savings account, because that is, for people who don't know what that is, it's a private account into which I have, I have benefits that are already there, that are existing, and I can decide how much to spend or not on my health care. If anything that I keep, anything that I don't spend, I keep.
I've lost mine. I've lost mine now. I don't have a health savings account now. But what I did gain.
I'm not talking about yours. I'm talking for people who don't know what a healthcare savings account
I know. But that's the whole thing that's screwed up. A health savings account is great.
Yeah,
it is.
Our government allows us to have it, and the reason that they don't is because we've got this centralized healthcare control. It's health control is what it is. That's what Obamacare is. It's got to be repealed. If they don't get to it, the heads will roll in 2018. Another line, we're coming up on a break, so I will tease you on the other things that Donald Trump was saying. If you didn't catch the speech, you missed a really good one. And there was one moment during the speech that actually, it went on for over 2 minutes. It was rather epic. So we'll talk a little bit more about Donald Trump's speech, and then more fun things when we get back on the other side of the break. So hang on, we have to pay bills, as they say.
The following message contains a special offer for listeners of this station. Are you a man over 40? Are you constantly looking for the nearest bathroom? Do you wake up multiple times a night to use the bathroom? Right now, Perfect Prostate is sending out free bottles of their groundbreaking new formula to listeners of this station. Perfect Prostate Formula was developed by medical doctor Mitchell Fleischer, and its ingredients have been clinically studied to reduce your frequent nighttime bathroom visits and promote healthy urine flow. Right now, preferred customers get their first bottle of Perfect Prostate absolutely free. There's nothing to lose. Perfect Prostate is guaranteed to reduce that constant urge to use the bathroom, especially at night, and promote healthy urine flow. Don't wait. Call now for your free bottle. Just pay shipping and processing. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251. Supplies are limited. One free bottle per household. Call now. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps stand ready to defend the American way of life. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey folks, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, Dr. Richard Harden. We are on the same mission, which is waking up America. We just have different paths. So stay tuned for some information on how you can keep up with Richard and all his work.
Visit Richard's website at raharden.com. That's the World Wide Web at RAHARDIN.com. At his website, you can see a summary of the 6 books he has written, where purchases may be made. He also has a link to 18 videos on YouTube and several blogs about Christian beliefs. If you prefer, visit Amazon.com/Kindle and type in Richard Harden to see and purchase his books.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Having a place to go after school will make you a better student. Having an outlet to express yourself will make you a better artist. Having something to do together will make you a better family. At the Y, we're helping build better friends, listeners, writers, swimmers, scientists, and musicians, one chance at a time. Give the gift of opportunity. Support the Y at ymca.net. The Y, for a better us.
Thank you for sticking with us through the break. I'm Susan Swift, and I am also joined by our favorite libertarian, Dan Wright, and his dog. Hi, Dan, and your dog.
You heard that. I do.
Huh? I can hear your... What is your darling dog's name?
Mish.
Mish. Hi, Mish. It's really part of the show, I got to tell you, folks. We got Mish.
Yeah, she's a trip.
Before the break, we were talking about Trump's epic smackdown grand slam winner of a joint sessions speech to Congress. It was fabulous what he did. And my very favorite line that he had in all of it was this next one that we're going to let you hear right now. Go ahead. It's number 1.
My job is not to represent the world. My job is to represent the United States of America.
Yay! Did you hear that? My job is not to represent the world. My job is to represent the United States of America. And that, my friends, is exactly why people came out to vote for Donald Trump, because we are all sick and tired. We were terribly sick and tired of the whole Democrat mindset of global, let's all get along. Obama wants to be, joining with other countries, the entire globalist kind of Soros notion that we are all one nation without borders. No, we're not. We are the United States of America, and we are the best country ever in the history of the world.
Wait. Trump's not going to do an apology tour?
I don't think so.
He's not going to travel the world apologizing for everything we've ever done?
No, I think he's blowing up Obama's legacy. I think with his pen, I think he's just about, with all of his executive orders, I think he's just about erased the president's, the former president's phone and pen rule. I think it's all over. And I was so thrilled to hear him articulate that so simply in his speech. And that is what we need a president for. Our American president, his job is not to represent the world. His job is to represent us, the United States of America, to protect and defend our Constitution, to protect and defend us, to protect and defend our borders against all invaders, foreign and domestic. That's what we want in a president. That's the job description.